Flippin' Friday is back, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the 7th episode. I actually just got back from vacation, as you guys know, and this is going to be the first gaming PC that I'm building in like 3 weeks now. So honestly, I'm kind of scared that I'm going to be a little rusty, but hopefully this ends up being a good one. And before we get started, if you guys didn't see, I just want to let you know that we just launched a ton of new ZTT and Thirsty Thursday merch, including just like a basic Thirsty Thursday shirt like this, which is my PC building live stream. Make sure you click that second link down in the description, zackstechdrive.com/merch if you want to pick something up. But yeah, let's get started with Flippin' Friday episode numero 7. So just taking a very quick peek at what the parts list is looking like, we have a ton of really good deals in this episode of Flippin' Friday. I paid just $485 for everything on the table here, and this is going to be the first ever $300+ profit here in the Flippin' Friday series, and we can get away with that because, like I said, we got some good deals. So before we start the build here, I want to go over the quick performance part overview, starting with this CPU and motherboard combo. This motherboard was actually on a Newegg sale down to just $41, and it's the ASRock B450M Pro 4, and the CPU I got on here is a Ryzen 5 2600. Can't go wrong with that CPU for gaming PC flips. Over on the RAM, this is another killer deal. Picked up this Vengeance LPX kit off Mercari. It's a 2x8GB kit clocked at 3200 megahertz for $38. Super excited about that one. And then finally for the graphics card, you guys know where I got it. It's an EVGA GTX 1650 Super. Picked this up on EVGA B stock for $180. Honestly, got a little lucky with this one. That's a really good price right now. And then just like always, everything that we're about to use today is of course linked down in the description, including the link to the new ZTT merch, so make sure you check that out. Also, before we start building, I want to show you how I'm going to activate Windows 10 with the sponsor of today's video.
Today's video is sponsored by ICMMO.com, which is kindly hooking you guys up with not just an activated version of Windows 10 and removing that nasty watermark, but they're also giving you guys an exclusive AF 35% discount code if you use ZAH35. Buying keys are super simple. Just head on down to the links in the description. Once you add that Windows 10 key to your cart, make sure you use the discount code ZAH35, and that'll drop the price down to less than 10 bucks. There's a ton of different ways to pay, including PayPal, and after buying, you'll be able to extract your key. From there, simply press the start button on your desktop, type in activation, paste in your key, and boom, Windows 10 is now activated and you're good to go. Head on down to the links in the description, and big thanks again to ICMMO.com for sponsoring today's video.
Okay, so starting with the CPU, I just wanted to quickly highlight this. Like I said, this is the Ryzen 5 2600, and I picked this up on Mercari for $101, which is honestly not that great to a start for a gaming PC flip. You could definitely find these for probably around $80 to $90 if you're a little bit patient. And the reason why it's already pre-installed in this motherboard is because not only did I not get a good deal on it, but it also came with a couple of bent pins. But I was able to bend the pins back before starting today's video. But once I finally got it like straight enough to be installed in the motherboard, I didn't want to uninstall it. So that's why it's pre-installed. And the other thing I want to talk about real quickly is the CPU cooler. This is just the AMD stock Wraith cooler, as you can see. But for the first time ever, I've been wanting to do this for a while, I painted the shroud with the color scheme that we're going to be going with today. And as you can see, the color scheme is going to be this grayish color that's purely based on these EVGA graphics cards. So I'm pretty confident that this color scheme is going to be on point. Super looking forward to it. Even the color of the motherboard matches. But yeah, that's why this is the way it is. I just painted it before filming today's episode. And yeah, let's start building finally. So our motherboard is prepped with the CPU cooler, RAM, and SSD. And now it's time to prep the power supply. And I'm just gonna say sorry in advance, guys. You're gonna see this on the channel quite often. This is the Super Flower LED X 2, 3 Pro, I don't even know. It's a 650 watt unit, 80 plus bronze, fully modular, and it's tier B. And a lot of the exclusives in the ZTT Discord channel, which is linked down below, snag these up over the course of like Black Friday for $25 each. We actually had to pay $45, but it came with a $20 Newegg gift card. So I personally bought 10 of them. This is only the second one that I'm using. So like I said, sorry in advance, you're gonna see these on the channel quite often. It's a really nice power supply. So the rust is definitely starting to shake itself off. I'm feeling pretty good about this build so far. We got our power supply prepped with the vinyl and cable extensions, and the motherboard is prepped. So now it's time to get this case out here. And this is once again the Montech Flyer, which I picked up for just $27 on Newegg on a really good deal. Naturally, I bought 3 of them, and I really like it for that price, obviously. It does have an acrylic side panel, which is certainly unfortunate, but it's micro ATX. It's got our power supply cutout, and it comes with 2 black fans, which we definitely aren't going to be using. Easy DIY actually sent these out, but I am going to be including them in our price point today. And this is like a 5 or 6 pack of fans, so super excited to try those out for the first time. But yeah, I mean, the Montech Flyer is pretty good, especially for that price. It also has this RGB strip. Let's start installing all of our prepped components into the case finally. Let's go. So about to put the finishing touches on this build with these easy DIY fans. Like I said, I've never used them before, but they're actually very surprising so far. These are pretty heavy for 120 millimeter fans. I thought these were just gonna be like some cheap up here like fans where they're like super lightweight. You feel like you're gonna break them and whatnot. But these are actually really like robust, heavy. They got the rubber grommets already installed right there. Pretty excited to see what the RGB quality specifically looks like on these. I'm gonna be installing 1 here for exhaust, 2 up top for exhaust, and then 2 in the front for intake. So it was a 6 pack, only using 5 of them. Let's see how it turns out. And just like that, ladies and gentlemen, we're ready to turn the PC on and see what these RGB fans are looking like. This is the color scheme coming through, even with the power turned off. We got the nice gray CPU cooler matching the cable extensions, matching the GPU, and of course, the power supply vinyl. Super happy with how this looks, even before we turn the system on. But let's check this out and whoa! Wow, I did not expect that. Oh my gosh. Wow. I don't know how I failed to realize it, but I was not expecting these RGB fans to have both the fan LED and these rings. I thought it was just the fan LED. It's actually a dual ring style, even on the rear, so it looks really cool from behind. Really liking how that looks. And then there's the RGB of the case. Let's see like what this looks like. Just all red. Oh my goodness. Oh, that looks so cool. Now, the really neat thing about a gray and black color scheme is you can make the RGB color like pretty much whatever you want, and it's gonna match just because they're such like simple black and gray colors. So that's what it looks like with blue, green, red, maybe yellow. Oh my goodness, that looks so awesome. Super happy with how this entire build turned out, ladies and gentlemen. Wow.
Oh man, I feel like wow.
So here you have the full parts list, which again totals to $485, like I said in the intro. I'm gonna honestly attempt to sell this one at $800, which is a really solid margin. And that's really thanks to things like the $41 motherboard, $38 RAM kit, especially that $180 GTX 1650 Super, and definitely the $27 case. There's just so many good deals here. You can't forget about the $25 $25 power supply either. Just so much value here. Over $300 for the first time ever in Flippin' Friday. Super happy about this one. And in terms of performance, I had Sam, of course, whip up a quick benchmarking run. Don't have any footage of the gaming or anything, but here are the numbers for those of you that are interested in that. Super happy with how this one turned out. I really love the white RGB color scheme on this. That way it kind of just illuminates the actual color scheme of the products, such as black and gray. So very happy with how this one looks. Hopefully you guys are as well. Thank you guys very much for tuning in to Flippin' Friday episode numero 7. Just like always, I will be selling this build for the $800 over on my website, zaxtechturf.com. We're about to do a huge launch on February 1st with a ton of different builds. So if you've been trying to snag up one of my builds, February 1st, zaxtechturf.com is definitely the place to be. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this episode. Make sure you subscribe if you haven't already to see the next episode of Flippin' Friday. I will catch you guys in the next one.